Welcome to WO50 Podcast, Women Over 50 in Body Wisdom and Wellness.
Well, I know you do, Ed, my best friend. You have embodied wellness and wisdom since I've known you, Dr. Eddi. And today we talked about, my name is Corrine. And today we talked about, our topic is everyday wonder, the importance of awe, and what is awe, what is it, and how to find it, and why we should have it every day. And
yes.
Yeah, it's...
and we explained the difference between awe and awesome and where to find the awe. We talked about our awes in our life. And even when you opened up your little package, you were in awe of how soft the sweatshirt was.
I know, because I got a
WO50 on it.
That shirt, if you're on YouTube, you can see it right now. It's very... But we don't have the swag to sell yet. It's just for us right now.
No. So we mentioned a expert in the field, and he's written many books, and how to find, the letting go of the ego and finding the majestic in the awe.
Yeah, awe helps with depression, anxiety, all kinds of things, ailments, and it's not that hard to get every day. So we learned something, and we hope that you learned something too.
So stay awesome.
Hello. Look what I got. Oh my gosh, there's two things in here. So I got WO50 sweatshirts that Eddi had made. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see it. It's very cute. She was wearing it yesterday. It's very soft. It's very soft.
Yes.
And you got more swag. You got, it's like Terry. Oh my gosh. And then you got cups, but you couldn't send one to me yet because there is very heavy.
They're too heavy. So like a coffee cup, and I got
swag
bags. I sent you pants. Yeah, but those were so you. I had
color. That's my favorite
color. I know. I had to send.
My gosh, I can't. Oh, I'm going to wear those to London.
Yes.
I'm going to have to wear my sweatshirt on the plane too.
And then your little guitar tuner that you got, that you put your picks in the top, which is great. Or not tuner, capo.
Yeah, I could take that to India too, and that'll be my capo and my. Is it a tuner too? Did you say?
No, it's the pick holder. It holds the picks.
Oh, the pick holder. That's what it is. Jamie had it in Newfoundland when we were there, and Eddi fell in love with it, and she got us a couple.
Yes, I got one for me and one for you. So, are you in awe?
I'm in awe of our beautiful sweatshirts and our swag, and that leads us. You're so good at that, getting us to our topic of awe today. So I kind of came across this without doing any research. Maybe 2 years ago, actually it wasn't 2 years ago, it was a year ago. And I was in the pool with a friend of mine, and as the sun was setting, and it was a beautiful sunset. And, everybody loves sunsets and sunrises. I mean, they're so beautiful. And to me, I know what it was. I asked my niece. My niece goes out and records every sunset and sunrise. I think I've mentioned that before. Like, that's just her thing. She posts on Instagram every day, sunset. Like, she'll go home from work. She has sunset stuff, like beach stuff in her trunk at all times. And she'll get up, like, even if she's gone to bed late, she'll get up early to see the sunrise. It's awesome. But she does. And I asked her one time, I said, why is it that you like them? And she goes, I don't know. They're just so beautiful. And I thought about it, and I was like, we love sunsets and sunrises because there's no words, and they're awesome. They're awe-inspiring. They make us stop, and we have a sense of wonder. So that was how it kind of first came in, and that was a couple of years ago. Then was in the pool with my friend, saw the sunset, beautiful, and I'm like, I have to say, I feel that way all the time. That the way you feel when you look at something that's really beautiful, like nature or a baby, or listen to amazing music or poetry, that makes your mind just stops. And I didn't always feel that way, but that's sort of what And it's not that I still don't have emotions and get upset and frustrated and, but doesn't stick to me. And I do have this sense of awe. And so when I'm in nature or when I'm watching a sunset, my mood doesn't change. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like most people, it stops them because they're so, anxious or whatever. And so, anyways, I just want to share that. Not that that makes any difference to anybody else, but it's just a testament to all the work that I've done on,
Yeah.
and sort of a realization that I've had of myself. But what we're going to do today is talk about our what awe is, why it's important in our lives, and we did do some research on it, and there is a guy that studies wonder and awe, and it does affect your brain and your body and your happiness, and it is vital to humans' happiness.
I agree. I agree. I really, when you look at the difference in awe and awesome, right? Awe is in the word awesome, but awe is that feeling, right? It's almost like awe is the feeling, and awesome is like kind of lowering it a little bit,
The
kind of
lower
taking the
vibration word for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. So you're in awe of something. You walk into a cathedral in Spain, or you hear a musician, or see a painting, and you're just in awe because it gives you goosebumps, or you can't explain the feeling, right? It's magical. It's like breathtaking. It's you stand in reverence. That's what awe means to me. And when we lightly say somebody's, oh, you're awesome, you're just awesome, but it kind of downplays awe because they're both different. They both mean different things. I
Yeah.
think, like, when I looked it up, awe came from like an old English word, and it meant it was when it started out fear or something like that, but it had emotion with it.
Yeah.
And then I'm me, I'm always studying the
The
root.
language is interesting, because
Mhm.
as soon as this is like Eckhart Tolle 101, but as soon as we put words to something, it almost lessens it, like we're talking about. It's like that's why when it stops us in our place, like all those things you just mentioned, like a cathedral, or a painting, a great painting, or a great sunset painting in the sky, it does bring us speechless, which means like our mind is stopped too, like and so that's what we need in our lives day to day. And actually, from my experience is like, yes, those beautiful things that you mentioned, those are kind of automatic ones, and they're different for everybody. Some people will be in awe of a concert, seeing somebody before they're famous. And like I remember when I saw, well, he was famous already, but Burt Bacharach. Remember from
Okay.
BTO? Oh my gosh. No, no, not Burt Bacharach, Burton Cummings. You knew who I
No.
meant.
Yeah,
Burton
I did.
Cummings, not Burt Bacharach. Burton Cummings was the lead singer
The
for
Who.
BTO, and no, not the Who, BTO, back in
Yes.
Turner Overdrive, not the Who.
No, Burton Cummings was the Guess Who.
The Guess Who, not the Who.
No, yes, right, the Guess Who. I,
Yes.
I was
Well,
just saying
the
to you,
Who is
Guess
much
Who.
more
I was
famous.
saying Guess Who.
I guess you're so funny. The Guess Who, for all you people out there that don't know, is a very, very famous Canadian band that was also international, but not nearly as famous as the Who, and that's why I sort of.
That's right. Who?
But anyways, I remember I was in probably grade 10, one of my first concerts, and in the like standing like 5 feet away from him when he was playing "I Will Play a Rhapsody" and playing the piano, and just like my mouth open, just like in awe.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was a wow moment.
the wow, the wonder, the awe. And I and this guy, there's a guy named he's a scientist at Berkeley called Dacher Keltner, psychologist who's been studying emotions and specifically awe and wonder. And the way he's got some books out there. I'll link it below. He's got a book called Awe and another book called Born to Be Good. And they study the importance of awe and wonder in humans. And so it's beautiful that we can get it in nature and with a baby. And as I was saying, everybody's different, but we can also get it like in just by turning on the tap of water and appreciating the water coming out that's clean, that we can drink it from our tap. Like I'm getting ready to go to India, And you can't do that in India. You have to drink filtered bottled water or run it through reverse osmosis that takes forever, and it's a very noisy machine, and that's one of the reasons why I've loved going to India for so many years, is because it's made me incredibly grateful for absolutely everything that we have here. Like when people, some, I get in conversations sometimes, people will complain about taxes or whatever, and I'm like, man, I am just not going to complain about taxes, because I know you feel the same way. It's like, I mean, I know our money doesn't go to all the places that we would love it to go, but we have amazing roads and road systems and clean, garbage systems and recycling systems, hopefully. And
Mhm.
our food is regulated, and hopefully we don't get sick when we go to the store, not nearly as much as other countries anyway. So just that sense of gratitude, again, when you're very grateful for something, it stops you in your tracks.
Yes, sometimes literally, like after the winter here, and we're driving down the road in spring and the potholes have been fixed, I'm totally in awe. Totally. That's one, that's a little, sense of humor. But that, yeah, you can find it. You can find it every day.
Yeah, and
There's
it's
wonder.
important, everyday moments of awe. So
Yeah.
when's the last time you felt in awe other than the potholes?
Um, well, gosh, that's put me on the spot now, isn't it? Right away, one of the first images of being in awe was when we were in Sicily at the ocean, the blue of the water, and just to think so much had happened to that place, so many attacks and poverty, and it just it's fighting and it's survival, and but to watch the beauty of the ocean like that just surpassed everything, and I was in awe. Like I would stand there just taken back, right, and just soaking it in. So those are moments like to watch. Now that I think about that, then it's like watching the ocean after the storm here, and we drive out to the water and just watch the waves rolling. Like it's majestic, and it's wow. And it's not going to happen tomorrow. Like it's kind of like you seize it, but then you find something else to be in awe about the next day.
Yeah. And that's the
So
thing,
it's
is not going on automatic pilot, which is what causes anxiety and panic attacks and depression, is going on automatic pilot. Is it because the joy and the awe is already there in your life. It's, you're already naturally hardwired, you're innately joy. Like I tell people, like when you look at a baby, any baby, doesn't even matter if it's related to you or not, anybody looks at any baby, even if they're not an attractive baby, there's something we're all drawn to, and it's like this clean slate of just pure joy. And we all started like that. We all came out as these clean slates of pure joy, and that's still who we are, at our essence, but we've gotten covered up with conditioning and belief systems and fears and expectations and stories and narratives and jealousies and progress and worthiness and all the things, depression, all the things that we have layered on top. But when we get to take a Learjet to cut through all that, when we're in awe, and it stops us. And that's why I always say awareness trumps everything. And awe is that. Awe is awareness. There, and it's in the word awareness too.
yeah, yeah. Where did that little something just popped up on the screen, like a
Oh,
little
when you put
thumbs
your
up?
hand up now, Zoom changed this now. It has a little
Oh,
thumbs up. Like if I go like this, it'll do
oh,
thumbs up. See? And
wow.
sometimes it thinks when you move your hand, you're giving a thumbs up. It's a new,
Oh, wow, that's kind of cute.
yeah.
So read to me what you just read when you introduced me to Dacker.
Oh, yeah.
What
So,
a what a
yeah. So,
bright individual, this
yeah.
psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was researching today for the podcast and some other people's opinions of it. And he talks about how awe transforms us. And the way it transforms us is that it quietens the I, me, my, the selfish, self-centered, self-critical ego mind, and empowers us to see the deeper patterns in life. the wonder in life, the majestic beyond what we already know. Awe brings us joy, meaning, community with a healthy body and a healthy mind. Those are studies that he did. And there's wonders that are all around for us every single day. And he talks about the importance when we encounter the mysteries of life, anything that we don't understand for just a couple of minutes a day, it just takes us out of our own small self, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of what I was reading to you earlier.
Mm-hmm. I
So
mean,
I'll,
tonight up here, I'm walking in where I think we're 2 days from a full moon. I know it's close. And I look up and it's just beautiful. It's, it feels like it's really close to me. So it's one of those moments. I love the moon. So, I'm usually in awe at a full moon. And
yeah,
I have to make sure I see it unless it's cloudy and it's covered up but
yeah,
I feel like, wow, it's wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
You really loved looking at that volcano too, Mount Etna too. You really enjoyed
I
that.
did. I did. I am in awe of nature and its beauty and its ability to just repeat, like to watch that volcano. Every time I would see that little poof come up out of the top, and it would be like a ring, like a smoker blowing the smoke out of a cigarette, which is a terrible thing, but it's just an image.
Yeah.
And I watched that and it just kind of like, yeah, it got me. It's the goosebumpy thing, You watch people and they're listening to an artist and they're like, oh, they show that they're rubbing down the goosebumps on their body. What creates that?
Yeah.
What creates that feeling that it's awe?
Yeah. Yeah, and you also can get teary too. So that's one of the things he talked about. You can get chills,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a feeling that comes over you, like a knowingness, or
Yes.
when you're feeling in awe, or both at the same time. And then
Mm-hmm.
also there's tears that can come when we have tears of joy, tears of gratitude, tears of joy, and that
Mm-hmm.
welling up in the heart area. Like I actually feel when that happens, I feel a vibration, a heat in my
Yeah.
heart area.
Yeah. That's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful feeling. And sometimes, some people fight that feeling. That the fighting back the tears thing of yeah.
Do you think they fight? I think people fight back tears when they're feeling vulnerable, but do
Hmm.
you think they fight back the tears when they're feeling in awe?
I don't think you have much control over it
Yeah.
when there's awe. I think that's, the wonderment, right? It's so big.
It happens to Don a lot at the Wellbeing Retreat Center. Don, whenever he's, talking about the Wellbeing Retreat Center when we're there on retreat,
Hmm.
he wells up with tears every single time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's so in awe of creating what he's created and being of
Yeah.
service and having everybody come
Yeah.
and enjoy
Yeah.
it. Retreat
or
center.
when you tell him or when you tell him what a beautiful place and what it means to you and you're feeling and he can feel it, then and then that kind of goes back and forth because then I well up because he's welling up we're both like in awe of what's around us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So, and I feel like yeah, just to notice, if nothing else from this podcast, is to notice it more. What is it that brings you to wonder and awe? And do you have enough of it in your life on a daily basis? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And or do you just save it for when you go camping or go on vacation or for the weekend, because you can
Yeah.
find it anywhere. I find a sense of awe in the grocery store, connecting with the person ringing up the groceries and saying hello and ask them how their day was and being able to have a connection with them. Were you able to get out in the ice this week? Were you okay? And talking to them, because I feel like strangers are just friends we haven't met yet and we haven't connected to yet. And so I love that. To me, that gives me that sense of wonder and brings tears to my eyes and my heart too when I connect with people just in passing.
Mm-hmm.
Take the
So
time.
so it is taking the time to find it, like even on a daily basis, to be in awe that every grape in the package is actually perfect. What? Oh my God. Especially when you pay a lot for groceries and then you have all your produce is perfect. What? Or the awe in when you watch when you plant your little seeds and those little green buds or the little leaves start coming up. Like, what a great feeling.
Oh,
It's
it's such
just
an
like
amazing feeling, that
it
first little
is. It's
thing coming up
oh,
out
I
of the dirt.
love it. I love it. Or you go out to your greenhouse and you've let it be, and then you walk in and your rosemary is thriving and you've done nothing. Like that's an awe moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So search, yeah, it's a little reminder to kind of look for it. Look for the awe
And look
in
for
the
it every
day.
day. See what you can find that's not just the obvious, like a sunset. Although, I remember talking to Katie, who I've mentioned on here before, a couple of years ago when we first started working together. She started watching, I don't think they're doing it now, but Katie, get back to it with your sons. She started watching every sunset with her sons.
Mm,
And I thought that was such a beautiful ritual to do because she has them half the time and your ex-husband has them half the time. And like, what a beautiful ritual to do with the 8 and 10 boys is to watch the
yes.
sunset together every day,
Yeah.
year
It's
together.
beautiful. It's beautiful. I remember sailing in Greece back a few years ago, and everyone stopped to watch the sunset, and everyone out on the sailboats, everyone was applauding, and that goosebumped me. I was like, oh, so now I do this. I clap at every sunset. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't get to see tons, but yeah.
I
In the
remember
spring, I do.
remember when we went to the sunrise that early morning, about 7 years ago. It was before you met Strat. We woke up early to get to sunrise, which was 5:30 a.m. So we had to leave at
So,
like 4:30 or something.
and it's out at Cape Spear, which is the furthest point east in North America.
That's,
And
that's
the
the one.
sun, it's the first place the sun rises because we are a half hour ahead. So you're in Nashville, I'm 2.5 hours ahead of you here. And we got up really early and we drove it. And wasn't that spectacular?
It was a bit of a cloudy day, but we didn't care. We had so much fun. Just the ritual of going out and doing that with
Yes.
friends.
Well, and the colors that were in the sky, it was all different colors, and yeah, and it was so fun. It was so fun so sometimes you might want to do that. Get up a little early and watch the sunrise, or plan an evening where you're going to watch the sunset or the moon and the full moons and the eclipses and the lunar moon and the blue moon and the red moon and the harvest moon. I mean, there's so many of them. So,
And groceries. I mean, I was locked in today with an ice storm in Nashville for 8 days. And this is the first day I was able to get out in my car in 8 days. And I walked into the grocery store and it was just I was so grateful. And
yeah.
and I was in awe looking around at the vegetables available because I wasn't sure if they'd all be there because I knew everybody else got out today too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just so special then to bring those groceries home and have them to
Mm-hmm.
cook some yummy stuff. And so it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be, I mean, it's amazing when it can be a beautiful sunset, sunrise, moon, but it can also be, yeah, the groceries and the clean water in your house and putting your child to bed and and being able to fall asleep at night. Eddie doesn't ever have that problem, but a lot of people do have a problem falling asleep at night. I actually didn't get to bed till 3 last night. I was thinking about you, like Eddie would not be happy.
Oh,
But I'm okay.
you get what you need.
Yes, that's right. And I just wasn't tired. It was so weird because I
I'm I'm in awe of that. I'm in awe of that. Yeah, that you can function and be able to tell a turnip from a carrot, because without sleep, for me anyway.
well, I
And
was listening to something about dopamine the other day, and it said that dopamine is increased by proper sleep. and so you, and that you can't really think properly when you don't get enough sleep. You always say that. And I was like, I don't really get that. Because, well, I do get that, because if I was to wake up and not meditate, I wouldn't be able to think straight. But because I
Exactly.
am able to sit down and meditate, and especially if I've only had, 5 hours of sleep or something like that, I'll meditate for 60 or 90
Mhm.
minutes. I'm good to
Well,
go.
you've known me all these years. Not much has changed, and I think for a while you used to think like she's making this up. She doesn't need as much as that. And I went for maybe a day or two just on 5, and you're looking at me going, are you listening to me? And I'm like, no, I need more sleep.
Yeah, you definitely need more sleep. No, my thing with you has, I've never believed that and you don't do this anymore, is just not to have a story around it. Like, 'cause
Yes,
when
true.
you get, you know, in Sicily, we couldn't get any more sleep.
Mm,
And so you just had to go with it, or whatever it is you're doing, whether you're on vacation, you don't like the bed or whatever.
mm.
You just do the best you can, and try
Well,
not to.
and that was day to day. We would, I was telling our friend Anne Marie that today when we met. I went, boy, Sicily was a big test, and we hung in, and we never held. We have such good friendship. The two of us is such a wonderful friendship that me wanting my gluten free something or dairy free something like every day was a food challenge, right? It really was. But then it's almost like after the first week, we were like, okay, we know we got to deal with this again tomorrow. So it wasn't even a discussion. It was like, we knew sans gluten.
And we did have some good laughs about it too, that especially the nights when we had to take off, hightail, drink a whole liter or 2 liters of water, and then hightail it out to find another restaurant only to do the same thing again. It was
And
like
then there was such awe when we actually found a place that had,
one thing
gluten
you
free
could order on the menu.
everything, right? Yeah. Which was rare, but we did find it. And that is awe.
Yeah, it could be awful. It could be awesome.
It could, but hey, always awe.
Yeah. Yeah. So noticing what, you know, is awe-inspiring for you, and even it got me thinking today as I was researching it. And just because I feel that way on the inside doesn't mean I still don't appreciate. I still appreciate nature and full
Mm-hmm.
moons and all of it. It's just that my inner state doesn't change with
Mm-hmm.
with it, and that's something that will happen to everybody if they're when they're mindful and present and
Mm-hmm.
and stay in a sense of awe all the time. Like children are like that, right? The way I try to help people get into it when I work with them, I was like, think about the first time your child saw the ocean or the beach, and they were like they couldn't even take
Mm-hmm.
their breath, and they were just like running around to the
Yeah.
starfish and the and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start to name the things, like this is a beach, this is a starfish, this is sand, this is a tree, this is a palm tree. And we stop experiencing the things when we start to name them. And that's why we become sort of almost complacent, not being present with things, because we live in our heads about our expectations about things and what we want to have happen instead of what's happening right now. And that's why I say the work that I've done has helped me so much, because I might have thoughts, but I'm not living in my head because I don't believe my thoughts. And so that's what a mindfulness practice can do for you, is to help you naturally have a sense of awe all the time. But until you get there, you can remember to have, 5 to 10 moments of awe throughout the day by just pausing and looking at the wonder of something.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, I have another amazing awe moment. And it was, remember a few years ago, out on the boat, and the whale, a humpback whale breached next, like maybe 2 feet, max 3 feet from the boat, and then came down and just missed us. And yeah, looking eye to eye with that size of a whale, maybe what was it, 40 ton, 30 ton, a young adult man. What it was amazing. So there is awe of that situation, but also just that oneness with that whale, just everything about it. Again, it's that feeling that you can't go, like yeah, I don't go around telling that story all the time, and I don't go around with that feeling all the time, because it was an ominous
Ominous.
situation. It was ominous.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
those whales are huge. I've linked that video of that before on our podcast. And
Yeah.
same thing if
Yeah,
anybody.
but it's an awe moment, it's another moment of but again, it doesn't have to be that to
Yeah,
that
it doesn't have to
extreme,
be big and
it could
extreme.
be a butterfly that's
Yeah.
flying outside, and you're like, how is that doing that where it's 0 degrees, and where did that little thing come from? Yeah,
Yeah. Or even
that's
icicles forming. I mean, I'm in awe of the icicles we've had here all week. How does it even start? Like it's coming off, and all of a sudden it's really cold, it freezes, and then another drop. Like, how does it get
no,
long like that? Like, it's just
I know.
icicles.
And that no two are alike, like snowflakes, no two are alike. Like, have you ever looked at how many snowflakes are coming down if even you just did your little eyeglasses? Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Well, this was awesome.
Aww.
I'm glad you like your sweatshirt and you had a little awe moment.
I love it. I love it. And so I don't know, we don't have them to sell yet. We'll
Not
let
yet.
you know when we do have swag to sell. Right now, Eddie just ordered a few to give to some friends and to give to me. So if
And
you
it looks pretty cool too. They're really cool.
they're nice too, of course, Eddie. You're like the fashion one of my fashion consultants is Eddie, because yeah, that's like Terry. It just feels so soft. I can't wait to put this on, and I'm gonna wear it to India on the plane. It's
Oh,
gonna be
good.
my plane outfit, and then I'll wear it in London too.
Yes, because we do have some listeners in London.
Yep, we do.
And one day we will have those W050 shirts. They're very cool and very fashionable.
We
You
must.
could look awesome.
You're awesome, Eddie. I love you.
Love you.
Okay, see you next time.
See you next time.